All right, welcome to this tutorial, which is our evidence-based work, our culminating activity. And here you have a pretty much complete choice in the aesthetics of how this is going to look. I'm just going to show you some tips and tricks, and you'll get to decide on what types of lines you want to use. And ultimately, the goal of this is that they mirror the song choice that you ultimately chose. And so if it's like a hard metal song, clearly these lines right here don't really mirror that necessarily, versus maybe something more smooth like Hotel California by the Eagles. So anyhow, to jump in, the first thing that we need to do is go to Illustrator, and then let's go ahead and create a new document. And let's make this document, let's call this emotion of line sound wave. So what we're trying to do is understand that line has a quality to it, and it carries some sort of quality and emotion to it. And so if we want something tough and aggressive, clean and sharp and organized, organic and smooth, and maybe even sometimes erratic and messy, line will control that. Let's make sure that this is in inches, and then I will make this width. Let's go ahead and make it 17, and then let's make the height 11. Okay, and let's do this in CMYK because we're going to be printing these, and then we'll do this as 300 ppi, and then we'll hit create. All right, and I accidentally have a bunch of artboards here, so I'm just going to delete them because I didn't change that in my settings there. So you should just have one artboard. Okay. All right, here is my artboard. Let me clean this up a little bit. So now that we have our artboard here, we're going to get our color swatches. All right, and so we're going to use most likely 3 colors to start. And so I've got 3 right there. And my colors, I'm going to, you can change these later on, but they're here and they're ready to be colored. And so I'm going to do something roughly what I did last class, which is going to be roughly a blue. And then I have maybe this warm red right here. And then, I don't know, I can't remember what else I did. Maybe another blue. Okay, something like that for now, and just know that we can change that later. And what we're going to then do is, so I have some light colors right here, and then I have a dark color, which is going to be my background. And so what I'm going to do is make another rectangle to go across here. And then I am going to go to my layers and open that up. We don't want to lock all of these. We just want to lock this main rectangle. Yeah, that one right there. So this is our background. All right, so we want to lock that one right there. Okay, we don't care about these or locking those. I mean, you can lock them if you want to. Okay, all right, but we won't lock the whole layer, okay, because everything else will go inside there. All right, so we have this. Now our artwork is going to be ready to be dragged in there. And again, we can always change our colors, right? Because I'm kind of thinking I want my blue to be a little bit darker, but we also need to get through this tutorial. So where do we begin? We begin by clicking on this. We need to go get a sound wave for our song. So I am going to go to here. We don't want to log in or register. I'm just going to hit start designing, and I'm going to put in a song. I'm going to put in Oyo, right here. Oyo como va by Santana. There we go. All right, and this is what we get right out of the box. When I click on this, now this changes in here. And if anybody wants to do a circle, they're actually welcome to do that. I think that looks pretty sick. But I'm going to keep the tutorial here just with what we've already been doing, okay? We're actually just going to use this as a guide to help create. And I've never done it this way, so I think it could be done, but this is a safe way. So what we're looking for is I'm looking for a lot of variations in line, and sometimes your song may not have it. It might look very blocky. And so when we make adjustments to this, we get a lot of details in it. And so if you want a lot of detail in it, play around with it. And I can't really give you any advice other than doing that. It seems like when I go left here, I get more detail. And when I go left here, I get more detail, okay? My height, when I go here, gets rid of a lot of it. And then when I pull this down, seems like it's sometimes even going in the reverse, which could be okay. But I'm going to do something like that, I think. And anytime you accidentally mess something up, you can always just hit reset. Okay, so here's a little trick. We're going to take a screenshot of this. And so I'm going to hit Command-Shift-4. And I'm going to drag out a copy of this and then let go. And what happens is that actually gets, you can't see it because it's in my other screen, but there was a little picture that popped up in my bottom right corner. I'm going to let that disappear, and it's going to go to my desktop. And so now I'm going to, it saves to my desktop. So now I'm going to pop back over to my Illustrator, and now we're going to place that image into our composition. So I'm going to go to File, and then Place, and you can notice that the hotkey is Command-Shift-P, and so I use that one a lot. So I'm going to hit Command-Shift-P, and now this window is going to pop open. And so when I go to my desktop, you can see there's that screenshot, and if I hit spacebar after I select it, you can see there it is. And so now when I hit Place, I can actually drag this out and then let go, and then there's our image. All right, and so we're going to place this roughly right here. We'll open this up. We'll hit lock, and we are in position to begin making our own sound wave by scratch. All right, I'll see you in the next video.